Hi, Tiffany. Welcome back to my smoke show. How have you been? I've missed you so much. It's been so long. Where have you been, huh? Today, we have my February TBR. This TBR is a little bit bigger than what I usually do. As you know, February is like Valentine's Day. It's like Black History Month. There's so much going on in February, so I tried to sort of fit everything into one. I've even added a few books that haven't been released yet, at least in terms of like me filming. I'm filming this on the 2nd. The books that I'm going to talk about are coming out on the 4th. Honestly, I really need to get better about asking like book publishers about sending me things, because I just assumed that they would just like do it, but that's not how that works. You just have to like ask for it. So anyway, let's get started and let's start talking about what I want to read in February. The 2 R's in February freak me out. I don't like it because it's, in my head, it's February. There's no first R, but the way it's spelled, it's like February. I don't like that. Is the R meant to be silent? Anyway, Tiffany, imagine that you and I are dating. Imagine that you and I are lovers. Do you see it? Do you see us? We're snuggling, we're cuddling, we're wrapped into each other. And I say, Tiffany, baby, darling, I got you a little gift. And I pull out a gorgeous little box, okay? And that's where today's sponsor, Ana Luisa, comes in. Ana Luisa is a jewelry company. They create the most gorgeous, beautiful, stunning jewelry pieces that you're probably ever going to see in your entire life, Tiffany. Currently, I'm wearing these earrings that Ana Luisa sent me, and when I tell you that these are so stinking cute. They also sent me a bracelet. However, I live alone, and I tried putting it on myself. It was hard. It was real hard. But the bracelet also is the cutest stinking little thing I've ever seen. Tiffany, you're thinking, okay, what makes Ana Luisa special? Let me tell you, you sweet angel, baby, cake pop. Ana Luisa is, first of all, sustainable. So we're talking about packaging that can be recycled or reused. They will send your jewelry in these cutesy dootsy little reusable cloth cases so that you can protect your jewelry. You're not, and Ana Luisa isn't, contributing to plastics going into the ocean and hurting little turtle turds. I want brands to be aware of like what they're doing to the environment, and Ana Luisa is one of those kinds of companies. Besides that, Ana Luisa's jewelry is hypoallergenic, sustainable, and water resistant. Now that I've been wearing Ana Luisa's jewelry for literal months, literally every single piece that I have from them is like brand new, including this bracelet, which I know, you know, Tiffany, I never take this off. This is on all the time. I'm washing my hands, I'm bathing, I'm putting all kinds of weird stuff on my wrists. And this baby, she is flawless. Additionally, Tiffany, you can expect super fast shipping and a 2-year warranty on all of your products. If you use my link in the description, you can save up to 20% off the most gorgeous, beautiful, long-lasting jewelry you've ever seen. Not only that, Tiffany, it's also super affordable, okay? The prices start at $39. Since I've started wearing Ana Luisa, I have felt fancy, gorgeous. Once again, check out the link in my description, check out the Ana Luisa website, and save up to 20% off. It will literally change your life. Thank you so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. Okay, Tiffany, let's talk about a few of my picks for February. First of all, we have to talk about my Patreon pick for February. This is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. I'm sure you've already seen this book like 1,000 bajillion times, especially because it's like Grady Hendrix's new thing. But I'm letting you know that on my Patreon, we are reading this with special guest and co-host Katie Colson. Now you're thinking, Jordaline, Katie Colson? You mean the icon? The visionary? The innovator? Yeah, that Katie Colson, the girly pop who is my Roman Empire, probably yours as well. Katie will be joining us when we read this book in February. If you want to join the Patreon, you totally can. We do like reading sprints. I'm hosting a readathon February 9th to the 16th. Only on Patreon. The theme of the readathon is cryptids and like monsters, and it's the cutest, funnest thing you've ever seen in your entire life. Also, in case you didn't know, if you're interested, you're like, what is Jordaline's Patreon all about? You can sign up for a 7-day free trial. Anyway, Check it out if you want to. Witchcraft for Wayward Girls is about an institution for like girls. I'm sure they're like wayward or whatever. These girls are all prego. They're all carrying little buns in their little ovens. I'm pretty sure they're also mostly teenagers, which is like kind of suspicious, but whatever. So they're all at this institution, this place. They're all pregnant. Whenever a girl gives birth, her baby is like taken from her. The baby is like shipped off or done. Something is done with the baby. Who knows what? But while these girls are at this place, they discover witchcraft. And I think maybe they're going to try to like do something with the witchcraft. I'm honestly not sure. So I will be reading this soon and we will be discussing it with Katie Coulson. Let me quickly talk about the books that I want to read that are coming out like in a few days. The first one is Victorian Psycho by Virginia Thieto. Bro, the moment I saw this cover, the moment I saw the title, I thought, yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'm constantly looking for. Even though I didn't know I was looking for it, I've been looking for it. This book is about a governess named Winifred. Winifred has just started like a new governess type of job with this family who are called the Pound family. And she's looking after their children who are Andrew and Drusilla. I love the name Drusilla. That's such a badass. Like, it just reminds me of like a vampire. And I think that's because of Buffy. Was there a vampire named Drusilla on Buffy? I think there was. Anyway, Winifred is starting at this house with this family. She's trying to keep it under wraps. She's trying to keep it cool, calm, and collected so that she doesn't freak out these fucking people, because Winifred is kind of a freak. Winifred likes to do weirdo, freaky shit, but she's trying to keep it cool. She's trying to be like, yes, I am but a humble woman who is normal in every way possible, of course. Like, that's what she's giving. But the longer that she stays with this Pound family, the more she's being tested, the more her freaky deaky, eeky leaky side is coming forward. So much so that the Pound family is kind of like bringing it out of her. I don't think it's going to end well for Winifred. I feel like Winifred is going to do some weirdo, creepy, gory shit to this family and maybe to the children. I don't know. Either way, I'm really looking forward to it, and it's coming out in a few days, and I can't wait to get my little grumby? I can't wait to get my grubby fingies just all over it. Ugh. The other book that's coming out in a few days is called Lamb, and this is by Lucy Rose. I only just heard about this book yesterday. Like, I was perusing. You know how sometimes you just like look online and you see a book and you're like, I'm just gonna pre-order that. It's not a big deal, because it sounds genuinely so cool and unlike anything else that I've seen. In this, we're following Margot and her mother, Mama. Mama and Margot have lived in the forest for as long as she can remember. As long as Margot can remember, right? Like, she doesn't remember a time outside of the forest. Every now and again, there are these things called strays that sort of find their way off the beaten path, and these strays make it to their little cutesy little cottage, right? And Mama, whenever these strays come upon their house, she's the kindest, sweetest little thing. She'll feed them, she'll give them wine, she'll let them bathe. Like, it's just really, really nice. And then, of course, Mama will dismember their bodies and do weirdo shit with them. But Margot is like, that's normal. That's like a thing that Mama does. And it's like, whatever. It's like not a big deal. Until this girl, I think it's a girl, named Eden, shows up at the house. And she's a stray. Our main character, Margot, is like, wait a minute. Do I have a big fat girl crush, otherwise known as a crush, on Eden? And so she's like, I don't want Mama to literally tear her apart limb by limb. I want to keep this one. I think the arrival of Eden is kind of like the downfall of Margot and Mama, which is like such a bummer, because like, we hate to see a family torn apart. When I read the synopsis, I was like, it's giving Hansel and Gretel, but if Hansel and Gretel was like super, super fucked up, like more fucked up than it already is. You know what I mean? I'm really excited. These are the two books where I'm like, I can't wait to get my fingers on them. Let's talk about Model Home by Rivers Solomon. I recently hauled this, and I still cannot get over how absolutely stunning this cover is. In this, we are following a group of siblings. I think there's 4 of them. They live in this weirdo house when they're kids. Like, it's freaky deaky. And like, you would think that these people, as they got older, would move away, because this neighborhood was like predominantly white and they were like the only black people in the neighborhood, and that was kind of weird. You would think that that would be the reason, but no. The reason was because the house was weird and like freaky and haunted. As soon as these siblings are all of age, they all move, they leave. And then now as adults, they get like a little phone call. Ring, ring, ring. Mama and Papa are dead. They all have to go back to the house so that they can put the final touches, you know, tie some loose threads, etc. from their parents' lives. But being back in the house kind of brings back memories, I think. And they will reckon with the family's past and present to find out what happened while they were away. And maybe also why their parents died, because I feel like that's also part of the mystery. Bro, I can't wait to read this. I'm a sucker for a haunted house, and you know that about me, Tiffany. We have to talk about The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. The fact that I haven't read this is maybe the worst thing I've ever done. I've had this book since it came out and I have not read it. For what reason? I should be in fucking cuffs, my dude. Lock me up. I don't deserve this freedom because I haven't read this book. If Tananarive Due has no fans, I'm fucking dead, bro. Anyway, in this we're following Robbie. Robbie defends his sister from being like bullied by this kid. However, this kid happens to be the son of the largest landowner in his town. By the way, also, this is Florida, 1950. Robbie kicks this guy's ass, right? I mean, he's not even a guy, he's like a kid. Robbie's also a kid, he's like 13, but he kicks this kid's ass, and because of that, he ends up going to this juvenile like detention center kind of vibe, or what they're calling a reformatory. One thing about Robbie too is that he can see like ghosts, or what they call haints, and Robbie has found it comforting, right? Ever since his mom died, he's been cool with it, it's been fine. But now in the reformatory, he's seeing all these ghosts and haints, and they're like, bro, shit's fucked up here. This shit's not fucking fun. This shit sucks, my dude. They're saying that to him, and Robbie's getting a little freaked out. He's like, what do you mean, bro? What do you mean? So apparently this reformatory, they make the boys, the people in the reformatory, work, right, for like rehabilitation. But actually the people who are going there, they end up going missing. The boys who are sent to the reformatory just poof, gone. And the haints and the ghosts are like, this is what's going on. They're disappearing, bro. They're going missing. It's weird shit. And so Robbie and his friends are gonna have to figure out what the hell is going on in this freaky place. You look me dead in the fucking eyebrow and tell me that that doesn't sound amazing. This next book is kind of embarrassing because I've already started it and then I like never finished it because I'm what? A piece of shit. The Midnight Rooms by Danye Coles. Look at that, Tiffany. Are you not gagging? I'm choking. You probably know already what this is about, but I'm going to tell you just in case you don't. This is about Orabella. By the way, also, it's like 18 something, right? But Orabella is half white, half black. And she has no prospects of being married because during this time, you know, women would get married and then, you know, blah, blah, blah. But there's nothing like that. She doesn't think that she'll ever get married. She thinks she's probably going to get stuck, you know, living at home with her uncle or whatever. Also unfortunate, her family is struggling like financially because her uncle is like a gambler. And then enter this broody dude, this guy, this like Heathcliff motherfucker. He comes in and he's like, Arabella, I want to fucking marry you, bro. And Arabella is like, oh my God, sure. Because also this man is rich. This man has fucking money. And Arabella likes that. And also she has this idea in her head of like a beautiful mansion and like gilded and whites and golds and gorgeous. However, when she gets to his estate, she finds it's more like a haunted, dilapidated kind of vibe, rather than like gilded. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of a bummer, but she's like, whatever, a mansion's a fucking mansion. And then a weird shit starts happening. And Arabella, through time in this mansion, married to this man, can't decipher reality from a fucking dream anymore. I've never read Rebecca, but that's what I imagine Rebecca is like. And so I want to read this. Let me talk to you about this book. I talked about it in my unboxing video with Alphabet Soup. I will link it down below. Also, in case you don't know, that coupon is still up until I believe the end of February. Till the Last Beat of My Heart. This is by Luanji Beaumontes. Just looking at this cover fills me and my heart with sadness. First of all, the cover itself is just absolutely stunning. What do I love more than like ghosts and ghoulies and stuff than ghosts and ghoulies and gay shit? Bro, I should write a book or something and it should be called like Ghosts and Ghoulies and Gay Shit. Anyway, this is about Jackson. Jackson is living a normal life. The only weird thing could possibly be that his mom has like a mortuary in the basement, you know, because she's like a mortuary person. I'm not sure what they're called. That's like the weirdest thing. So like dead people come in and out of his house or whatever, right? Jackson is like, whatever. It's like not a big deal. He's like not affected by it until his best friend ends up coming through the morgue. Jackson's best friend, Christian, ends up dying, ends up being killed, I think, in a car accident. Jackson, of course, is heartbroken. He's grieving, not only because this was his best fucking friend, but also because Christian was like his crush. He was literally in love with the guy, which like makes it worse. Jackson is like really going through it till, by accident, he ends up reanimating Christian, brings him back to life. You're thinking, wait a minute, how, why, where, when? And let me tell you, Jackson doesn't know. Jackson starts like looking into it, right? And finds that he has this whole history. His family has this whole history of like necromancy. And in doing this research, he realizes that the time that he has with Christian, the reanimated Christian, is dwindling. He doesn't have much time left. Jackson recognizes that stepping into an inherited power may also mean opening up old family wounds if he wants to keep the boy, who he may have more than friendly feelings for, alive for good. I can just feel in my heart that this is gonna make me cry. Let's talk about one more horror book. I received this recently from Raw Dog Screaming Press. I have The Fourth Horror by Evie Knight. This sounds so fucking good. When Kenzie was 7 years old, she met the Scribble Man. The Scribble Man took her brother's soul. She watched this, she saw it happen. He took her brother's soul after a car accident, but left her with a little gift, this little rabbit's foot. That was when she was 7. 16 years later, she doesn't really believe in the Scribble Man anymore. She's kind of blocked it out. Now she's just focused on like surviving and like not dying, until one day her mother is murdered and she's badly beaten, like almost to the brink of death by this like mugger, right? In this, she ends up accidentally releasing the demon Lilith. Is Lilith a demon? She ends up releasing Lilith from the keychain, from this rabbit's foot. And hell hath no fucking fury, bro. It's not good. Lilith is wanting revenge. Lilith is like, I was stuck and I'm gonna fuck everyone up now. Revenge against God, Sariel, who's the angel of death, aka the Scribble Man, and all of mankind for relegating her to nothing more than a demoness for refusing to submit to her husband. Honestly, slay. She's put together an apocalyptic plan to destroy everyone who has forsaken her. You know, like the whole like 4 horsemen thing? Lilith is gonna do that, except it's gonna be the 4 whores, which is, again, a slay. Will Kenzie rise against her, Lilith, to save the world and the Scribble Man, or will she become the 4th whore? Me, personally, I kind of want to see her be the 4th whore. First of all, I've never read a book where Lilith was a character. Oh wait, no, that's a lie. No, I did read a book like that, but there was only one. Other than that, I'm not seeing Lilith in fiction. Where is she? And thank you so much to Raw Dog Screaming Press for sending it to me. I really appreciate it. Let's talk about Old Wounds by Logan Ashley Kisner. This book sounds cool as fucking fuck, dude. It sounds so good. We're following 2 teenagers whose names are Aaron and Max. They're both transgender, and they both like left their town for reasons. I'm assuming because of family stuff. They're trying to like make their way to California. And honestly, out of the 2 of them, Erin is like really unsure as to why she's going on this trip. Like the last time she spoke to Max was like 2 years ago when he dumped her, which is like super rude, but whatever. They're on their way and they stop at this like small town, and you're thinking, oh, okay, it's just like a little detour. It's just like a little thing. No, they get stuck there because the townspeople are like, we're freaky deaky. We like to sacrifice people, like a demon or something, to like, you know, help our crops or something. And they need a virgin female sacrifice. Do you see where I'm going with this? They think that Erin is a biologically female girl, and so they want to sacrifice her. I've heard such good things about this. It sounds cool as hell, and I think it's honestly also kind of like funny. And honestly, me, I love a creepy town. Let's talk about Looking for Smoke by K.A. Cobell. I'm currently reading this, so I figured I'd mention it. But this is about a girl named Mara. She moved recently to this new reservation with her family. I think it's the Blackfeet Reservation. She's not really like fitting in that well. A lot of the people who are her age are like, you didn't grow up here, so you literally suck. You don't belong here. Like, it's really rude. One day, Mara is invited to join the giveaway at this like event, right? Along with 4 other teens. And among them is this girl named Samantha. And Samantha, Mara is not a fan of. She doesn't like Samantha. Samantha's rude to her, like literally kind of just like shit talks her all the time, right? But then Samantha ends up being fucking dead, being murdered. And it turns out that the only people who could have killed Samantha were one of the people who were in this little giveaway thing. And so Mara is now a suspect along with all of these other teenagers for Samantha's murder. A murder. I would say I'm a little bit over halfway through, and this is a lot of fun. I'm interested to see who is the bad guy or like who's the murderer. I have my theories. But yeah, let's talk about romance, okay? Because it is that time of the year. First of all, let me talk to you about this book, which I haven't hauled yet. I've been meaning to, but I haven't yet. And that is Outdrawn. This is by Deanna Gray. Tiffany, look at that cover. I saw this cover and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna need that. I can't get over how pretty it is. Anyway, this is about 2 girls. One of them is named Noah and the other one is named Sage. They are rivals. They're both in the illustration comic kind of world, and they both get hired for this job. The same position, I think. They know of each other and they don't like each other, but they're forced to kind of work together. And I think in working together, they're gonna fall in love. Which I love. I can't wait to read this. And what's unfortunate for me is I got the audiobook from the library, listened to it for maybe 10 minutes, and I had to put it down. I could not listen to it on audio because the narrator for Noah specifically, I could not stand her voice, and the editing was not well done. It was one of those things where once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. I could hear her breathing between each breath, and I hated that. Not only that, but she would use the same intonation for each sentence, and so it would all sound the same, and it would be like this, and she would always talk like this, and it was, bro, I couldn't do it. So I had to buy it physically so that I could read it physically, because the audiobook was a no-go. But other than that, I'm really excited to read it. More queer romance, more sapphic romance. We have A Dark and Drowning Tide. I have started this book and I literally never finished it. I meant to finish it and I just like never got around to it. But bro, this again is also a like rivals to lovers kind of book, but I think it's more academic. So it's about like a folklorist who must pair up with her academic rival to solve their mentor's murder in this lush and enthralling sapphic fantasy romance. I'm sorry, a sapphic rivals to lovers, and then also a murder mystery with this cover. Are you joking? In every single fucking universe, that's a yes, my dude. The last books on this TBR are for the straights, for the heteros. I have these 2 books, which I got from a friend for my birthday, but she only recently gave them to me. And I also haven't hauled them yet, but I have The Cock Down the Block and then also The Wiener Across the Way. These books are crazy. They're plus size romance novels. I think they're also like football romances, like the dudes play football. I think there's like 3 more in this like series that are also unhinged. I cannot wait to read these. It's been so long since I've actually read like a plus size romance novel. I also want to read a sapphic plus size novel, so if anybody has any recommendations, you need to tell me. From what I understand, it's kind of the vibe of like, I'm a nerd. Oh, I'm a shy fat girl. But then like this hot buff football player is like, I'm a hot buff football player and I'm gonna fucking take you to Pound Town. I think that's the vibe. So I'm really excited to read these. Last book again is hetero. It's like a boy and a girl in the binary getting together, perhaps bumping nasties. I've been excited to read this book, but I've also been like a little bit hesitant because I wasn't sure. And then I heard a few people talk about this book and I was like, wait a minute, do I need to push this up on my TBR? And that is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This is a high fantasy romantasy. The reason I bought it, you can tell immediately, is because there's cute little dragons and shit on the cover. That's a mystery solved, but what is it about? Let me tell you, you sweet angel baby girl. My edition has these end papers and they're literally stunning. This is about like an assassin, and she's like really cool and stuff, and she like kills people for like her job. But then there's this other guy who is a king. Like he killed the old king and then took his crown and just popped it on, and now he's king. And so I feel like they're gonna like work together to do some kind of thingy thing, but then also like fall in love and probably go to fucking Pound Town, my dude. Tiffany, my friends, my family, my familia. Thank you so much for watching this video, for being with me today. It's been so much fun. I've missed you so much. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them. Don't forget also to check out the link in my description for Anna Louisa. Save up to 20% and get yourself or a partner or someone some lovely, beautiful jewelry. Don't forget to hit subscribe, because we talk about spooky shit, we talk about creepy shit, we talk about a dark and drowning tide and shit. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, Tiffany. It's been so good seeing you. Hope you take care. Hope you're gorgeous. I mean, I'm sure you are. You're like literally gorgeous every single time I see you. And I'm honestly kind of jealous, but also like really into it. Anyway, okay, bye. See you later, Tiffany. Goodbye. Bye.